we are implementing a comprehensive set of social intervention initiatives that target the root causes of crime. For example, Mr. Speaker, under the CSJP 3 we have employment, training, restorative justice, and dispute resolution initiatives underway.
In today's show, we'll highlight a number of measures being employed by the government to bring crime and violence to more tolerable levels and foster peaceful society. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkins and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. We'll be exploring the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch. Plus, take a trek with us into one community that is uniting for change. Stay with us.
What are you doing to help the fight against crime?
Sitting on the corner, minding your own business, definitely not going to work.
It is time for us to unite.
Unite.
Unite for change.
Citizens coming together to make their respective communities safer. The police, schools, public health, business, churches, NGOs, parents and neighborhood watch volunteers.
As we, the police, do our job,
We as citizens need to do our part as well.
Report crimes or even suspicious activities.
Let's all work together.
As one united front against crime.
And make Jamaica the place of choice to
Live, work, raise families, and do business.
Unite for Change, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security.
The Ministry of National Security has been strengthening the country's security framework with strategies to fight crime. An important part of this involves the work of the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, which is targeting criminal networks and their ill-gotten gains.
Combating human trafficking and protecting intellectual property rights. The police force's newest unit, the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, helping to secure GOJ's strategic priority number 3, security and justice. The Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, CTOC, was formed earlier this year, and 35-year veteran of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Assistant Commissioner of Police Devon Watkis, was put in charge of the new branch.
In essence, upgrades the Organized Crime Investigation Division that was known to the public. We also have CTOC Special Ops and Special Projects, which really is a flying squad retaining all the functions that it had before.
As a result, CTOC now has responsibility for several of the JCF's investigative units. They include those responsible for counterterrorism as well as anti-gang and transnational crimes.
So you may see Jamaicans having a network stretching from South Africa to Jamaica. So we have that responsibility.
CTOC also incorporates the work of the units responsible for forensic and cyber crimes, stolen motor vehicle and major robberies, financial and fraudulent crimes.
We are responsible for the technological side of the investigation. We focus on serious fraud investigations.
Intelligence and covert evidence gathering, anti-trafficking in persons, and intellectual property are also now under the umbrella of CTOC. The JCF's new Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch's ultimate goal is to strengthen Jamaica's security framework and effectively combat terrorism and organized crime in all forms. The workload is huge, but the team at CTOC is not daunted. They operate from a covert location with their reach extending from Morant to Negril Point. To guide its operations, the investigative branch has crafted a plan of objectives for the 2015-2016 financial year. In the meantime, CTOC's existence is expected to bring out savings for taxpayers, as the merger now allows for different groups to share resources and tactical skills in a more direct process.
What we have sought to do as a policy from the high command of the JCF is to move some of the persons that would normally be available to us back to territorial policing in the main, and to try and enhance the capacity that we have to be able to achieve similar greater effectiveness.
Arresting the onset of emerging criminal activities, destroying a decades-old issue of gang war, while working effectively within a tight economy. All these efforts by CTOC certainly fit in with the government's strategic priorities for the 2015-2016 fiscal year.
Our plan really is to contribute to enhancing the security environment of our country, and to recognize that the days of operating by your own in silos, that is now not the way, but to explore and enhance collaboration and partnership.
A smart move by the Jamaica Constabulary Force as we seek a safer society in the 21st century.
We can all learn from the mistakes of others. That's the belief that convinced this group of men to discuss how they found themselves on the wrong side of the law in hopes of inspiring other young people to not do the same. They are the men with a message.
I was like a rebellion against the system, but that never was the way, Virgin.
I was convicted and sent to prison. Spent 14 years on death row, only see 5 minutes of sunlight each day for 14 years. I was taken to the gallows and was supposed to be hung. Twice they built coffin for me and twice they dig hole. But God knows best.
Men who have made wrong choices in their past.
These are men who were either incarcerated or persons who were informal enforcers, as we say in Jamaica. These were persons who had no regard for law and order, who have actually, by whatever means possible, by whatever stimuli, have actually decided that they don't want that life anymore. They want to actually be positive role models in society.
Now they are sharing their experiences with the determination of reaching out to the youths and even their peers to not make the same mistakes they did. And by so doing, they are helping to restore and preserve the society's value system, thus securing the rock with their message.
Trenchtown youths, top up love, delete violence. Things take time to do if you take time to do it. Trenchtown youths, focus, take life serious.
We are trying to help them to realize that crime and violence is not something that is good. It's something that will destroy the society and the entire family. And once the family is destroyed, then the society will be destroyed.
Men with a Message is an initiative out of the Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP. The group, which consists of 10 men, was identified by CSJP's community action officers from among the program's many participants. Having received vocational and skills training, placed in jobs and managed to maintain clean police records for at least 2 years, the young men successfully navigated the interview process and were made ready for their mission. Armed with a different attitude, these men are now fighting against the same plague that once struck them: crime, violence, and lack of education.
To live a better life and to act in a better manner, education is the surest guarantee for a better life. You can't constant do something when not giving you a good result. That's madness. That was how I define badness. So who I run down badness and madness. Because I was in it, so now listen keenly. So any man out there come for you, so I go to the eye there, all them can get to know.
It is reported that young men between the ages of 15 and 25 are most vulnerable to criminal activities.
So, as part of the CSJP's initiatives within volatile communities, Men with a Message have been going into youth clubs and schools through the Safe Schools program to deliver their message of transformation.
I definitely want these youngsters to understand that crime on our whole is not something that they should want to indulge in. We know we cannot totally eliminate crime and violence from the society, but at least we can help to minimize it to a tolerable level.
Principals have actually reported that after Men with a Message have come and spoken to the students, delinquent students have actually been the ones now to curb the other students. There have actually been cases where students have been collecting knives from other students as a result of Men with a Message coming and speaking to them.
It doesn't have to be that we have gunmen around and so on, but it has to be that they understand that when they become men themselves, they have to become men of standard, men of worth, men of value. And that is what our society needs. And so many of these boys lack seeing men who are role models in this way.
I would like to see from this program youth getting the benefit that I know is there, because I am also a recipient of the program.
The common good of the society of Jamaica, which should always be the new name of justice, cannot be achieved by means of violence, because violence destroys what we intend to create.
These may seem like just words, but not to these men. With the CSJP operating in 50 communities, the men are spreading their message that change is possible and that the cycle of violence and underachievement from the inner city can be broken. And they are also living testimonies that the CSJP's programs actually work.
Jamaica, join with us to secure the rock. Top up love, delete violence. Jamaica youths, blessed love.
I'm on the rise, I'm on the rise. Higher than higher than
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
Young people in Central Village, St. Catherine have recognized the need for change, positive change for peace and progress. They have been uniting for this cause, engaging the Ministry of National Security's Crime Prevention Initiative. Here's their story.
It was the inspiring story of the late Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa, that brought this film to life. Invictus.
Who wants to play rugby? Your country is very proud.
Mandela, being portrayed by Morgan Freeman, used sport, rugby, to unite post-apartheid South Africa. Here in Jamaica, organizations and individuals working in the community of Central Village in St. Catherine are employing a similar strategy. Through sport, the community is uniting for change. Citizens are coming together to bring back the love and maintain the peace in their community. The Ministry of National Security has taken note of Mandela's words. Sport has the power to change the world, to inspire and unite people. So in conjunction with a number of non-governmental organizations, the police, churches and community members, the National Security Ministry is using its Unite for Change campaign to organize Corner League football competitions as part of a series of interventions in violence-prone communities. Central Village is one such community moving full speed ahead with the initiative, organizing Football Sundays, a combination of football, netball and counseling sessions for children to promote peace in the community.
I came here at first and saw this field, and I know this field. This field was a battlefield instead of a play field.
But things have changed for community members. The field is now what they term a business field for teams participating in the 7-a-side knockout competition. Each team enters with $1,400 and the winner receives $15,000, bragging rights and the Unite for Change trophy from the Ministry of National Security.
You're stupid now. Oh, still cool, man. Here's Alden in a shot.
The football teams in Central Village are apparently huge fans of popular clubs in Spain's La Liga football competition and the English Premier League in England. They proudly sported the jersey templates of teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City and Arsenal. But of course, they have their own unique names: Image, Riverbank, Macatree, Slash Dash, Anytime and River Plate, just to name a few. They may not have much in terms of infrastructure, and some may be physically challenged, but they are not deterred. All are determined to do great things with little. Just ask this 14-year-old captain.
We play good.
Which position you play?
Forward. I would like to compete. I love winning.
Here is Grandmouth. Oh, Grandmouth scored that one!
The females in Central Village have also risen to the occasion, forming special bonds through a game of netball. The sporting competitions have breathed new life into the St. Catherine community, bringing out scores of individuals on Sundays to socialize and restore peace. Even the animals seem contented.
Everybody's at peace. Big Lane and Little Lane that used to war, there are no war anymore. And I congratulate the police as well and the people who take part.
It's wonderful. We can come out, we can have fun. We can just do about what the Lord has set us to do on earth. Enjoy ourselves and be glad and happy.
Boys and girls who normally used to be involved in, hating each other, cursing, fighting and all these things, have been united since this. So it's something that is very good for the community.
The children are not left out of the peace-building equation. The group Children First has been conducting interactive sessions with the youngsters, offering counseling and promoting conflict resolution.
We use activities to let them express themselves. When we get the messages out, we come up with possible solutions of how them as children can be agents of change within their community.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words.
I want peace in my community.
Peace, love and unity.
National Security Minister Peter Bunting has been in Central Village to witness the activities and seems quite impressed with the peace-building initiatives.
I believe we can do it and we must do it. Otherwise, we're not going to get the type of development that we need to create jobs and get prosperous communities going.
The goal now is to sustain the program, and that's where the Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP, will come into play.
Out of all these programs, we see where persons can traverse anywhere they want to go in the community, and we see a level of unity.
The Violence Prevention Alliance will also be monitoring the activities.
Is the crime really going on in the community? Is there a commitment towards building that peace?
Corporate Jamaica is invited to come on board and help the residents in Central Village develop a structured sports program and other amenities needed for social upliftment.
Even though we had a whole lot of war in our past, we can live together and come back together and bring any community back together, because if Central Village can be together, we all can be together.
Central Village in St. Catherine, uniting for change, using sports and counseling sessions to bring members together and promote peace in the community. To paraphrase a quote from Mother Teresa, they know they may not be able to change the world, but they are casting a stone across the waters and creating a ripple effect.
never gonna fail again.
The possession of small quantities of ganja is still against the law, but as of April 15, 2015, it is decriminalized.
Possession of 2 ounces or 0.057 kilograms or less will become a non-arrestable, ticketable infraction.
That means you can't be held by the police or end up with a criminal record, but you will be given a $500 ticket. The police may also recommend counseling for minors or adults they believe to be hooked on the drug. The ticket must be paid at any tax office within 30 days. If you miss the deadline, the Petty Session Court can order community service or a fine of $2,000. But be clear, possession of more than 2 ounces of ganja is still a criminal offense that comes with a fine or a prison sentence. There are exceptions, however. The rules against possession of ganja do not apply to Rastafarians who use it as a religious sacrament and persons with a prescription for medical or therapeutic purposes. Ganja can also be used in scientific research. Be in the know. Get the facts on the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
So we now go to jail again. Oh no, and we never gonna feel again. From 62 we a build we island and me not stop stick to Master God plan. We have a lot we do come make we unite, live in love in a Master God side. Remember we heroes them will fight for we. If I never them right now we wouldn't free. Like Sam and Paul, Marcus and Nina, Man, George and Bustamante. One and all, let us continue to pray together as a country. And let us live together in a loving society. Are you ready? So everybody make we join the celebration. So hold on. We're going to join the line. So here we go on. Ready me dancer? Ready me jerk man?
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. National Security Minister Peter Bunting this week announced a 3-pronged strategy to combat Jamaica's current spike in murders.
1, strengthening the operational capabilities of the security forces. 2, addressing the root causes of our societal violence with various social intervention strategies. And 3, bringing important legislation to this House to support the investigation and prosecution of criminals.
As part of the measures, the police will be getting 139 assorted new vehicles within the next 6 months, and 9 rugged all-terrain vehicles will be delivered to the JDF this year. The National Security Minister also tabled the Maritime Drug Trafficking Suppression Amendment Act 2015 in Parliament this Tuesday. The act will give the Security Minister the power to waive Jamaica's right to exercise jurisdiction over Jamaican nationals who have been detained by law enforcement authorities of a treaty state.
Country located in the corridor between the main drug-producing and drug-consuming countries, collaboration with our international partners to prevent traffickers transiting the country's waters is an absolute necessity.
Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites told Parliament this week that his ministry was working with the police to quickly stem students' access to drugs and other harmful substances. He was responding to a recent survey which found that 50.4% of students said it was easy to get substances such as ganja, tobacco, and alcohol in and around their schools.
There is no place for ganja, for tobacco, or for any mind-altering or physically harming substances in the schools. None whatever. As a result, the Safe Schools team is developing a strategy to address this issue, and we also have to look very carefully at the issue of vending outside schools.
A campaign will also be implemented to inform students about the harmful effects of drug abuse. Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller told the members of the National Partnership Council this week that Jamaica was working its way to growth.
We must double our resolve to strengthen the partnership approach and to act decisively on what we agree to do. As a partnership, we must also be realistic about the targets that we have set and be prepared to adjust them rather than abandon the program.
Guest speaker at the retreat, former Barbadian Prime Minister Owen Arthur, commended the social partnership model, saying it had proven effective for his country. An agreement was recently signed for a $27 million project which has 2,175 at-risk youth in 7 parishes benefiting from a youth camp put on by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF.
It is one of the activity among a range of programs that my administration is utilizing to prepare our youth for employment or even to start their own businesses as we confront the problem of youth unemployment.
2 new roads were opened in Hanover recently under the Jamaica Emergency Employment Program, JEEP, the Landtop Roadway in Chester Castle and the nearby Mount Peter Roadway. JEEP also rolled into Old Harbour, making $18.6 million worth of improvements to the Lafayette Parish Council Road.
It is your responsibility to take care of the roadway. We are going to call on the motorists. It's not a racetrack. It's not a racetrack. It is a road that we must use with care for those who are driving and for those who are walking.
And the Elim to Braes River Road will be rehabilitated at a cost of $89.1 million. A contract was signed and ground broken recently to begin the work on the 14-kilometer stretch of roadway. It should be completed by September. The thoroughfare is one of several roads being rehabilitated as part of the European Union Sugar Transformation Program. And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
Householders, business people, school administrators, be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing DEET.
This is where we close Jamaica Magazine for today. Do join us again tomorrow for another informative show. In the meantime, keep the link. Use our Facebook and Twitter pages, YouTube channel, and visit the JIS website to see these and other features on the very latest government information. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, reminding you to stay healthy, eat well, get adequate rest, and make every day a productive one.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.